Good morning, students. This is Gauri Chandmani, your EVS teacher. Dear students, we have already begun chapter number 12, Growing Plants. In this, we have already learnt about how the new plant grow from seeds, and seeds appear in the plant or produce in the plant from flowers. Then we have studied about the structure of a seed. Then dispersal of seeds using various techniques: wind, water, animal, and at last explosion of fruits. When the fruits is completely mature, grown, then with the help of explosion the seeds disperse. Today in this lesson we are going to discuss that if the plant do not bear the flowers, but still it can reproduce, and when the plant reproduce without flowers, without seeds, such a reproduction is called vegetative reproduction. As we know, reproduction means producing the new plant from the old one, or from the parent plant. We call that process as reproduction. And the main important thing for the reproduction of a plant is seeds, which comes from fruits. But if the plant do not bear the flowers or do not convert into the seeds, then how a new plant can be grown? We call these all techniques as an vegetative reproduction. Out of this, the very first technique which we will discuss is new plants from spores. How the new plants can be grown from the spores. Let's see. In nature, there are few plants like moss and fern. These plants do not bear the flowers, but still can reproduce the new plant, as these plants possesses small spores. Tiny spores of the plant, when fall down on the soil or the ground, and when they get the suitable or the favorable conditions like air, water, warmth, they grow into the new plant. So we can say new plants from spores, and the example of the plants they grow from the spores are moss and fern. Mosses and fern grow from spores. The next point, that is new plants from other parts of the plant body. Other plant body parts means, like we have already discussed earlier or studied, the plants having root, stem, leaves, flowers, buds. These are all the parts of the plant in which flower convert into the fruit and fruit bears the seeds, when where the new plant can be grown. But if the plant do not bear the flowers, then how the new plant reproduce? So one of the technique we have seen, like fern and mosses do not possesses any kind of fruits or flowers, but still with the help of the spores they can reproduce the new plant. Here, if you observe this diagram, before that, see the concept new plants from other parts of the plant body. It means except seeds, when the new plant can be grown from the other body parts. Some plants produce new plants from other parts of the plant body. The method of obtaining new plants from the leaves, stems, and roots of the parent plant is called vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation or vegetative reproduction. Here, observe this picture. This is the picture of a sweet potato. Sweet potato is the root part of a plant. The leaves grows above this sweet potato, but we consume this as a food because all the food prepared in the sweet potato plant is stored in the root part. So root is the nutritious part of the plant we consume as a food material. From this root only, the new plant for the sweet potato is grown. Let's see how. If you take a glass of water, insert the sweet potato, allow the sun rays to fall on the sweet potato. After few days, you will observe the roots start appearing in the downward direction, where the stem part or the leaves start appearing on the upper part of this sweet potato. And further, if the plant reaches to this condition, you observe in the picture, after this you can take this plant and directly sow into the soil, insert into the soil, and you will get the completely mature grown new plant. So this is the root part, and here it is the formation of new plant or start of a new plant growing, and this further sown into the soil to get the plant of sweet potato. Here is the process given. Following this process, sweet potato can be grown. Take a sweet potato, which is a part of its parent plant, and insert toothpicks in it on all its four sides. Here you could see the toothpicks are inserted all four sides, as the whole sweet potato will not dip inside into the water. Half of the portion remain outside hanging and half portion remain inside the water. Then take a glass filled with the water and place the sweet potato on the mouth of the glass in such a way that the lower part of the sweet potato remains immersed in water. Immersed means filled or dipped. Put this glass at a place where it can get fresh air and sunlight. After a few days, roots come out of the sweet potato. Soon, a small plant grows out of it. Here we see the root of plants producing a young plant. Plants like dahlia and asparagus also reproduce through their roots. Here is the example of two plants given, that is dahlia and asparagus. These plants also grow with the same technique which you see here with the sweet potato. So this is all about growing a new plant from roots. Moving next to the topic, new plants from underground stems. What are the examples of underground stem? Underground stem is the potato. Underground stem is the ginger. Have you ever observed, if we bring or buy potatoes from the market and we keep the potatoes as it is for many days, white color nodes occur on the potato. If you have observed, ध्यान से देखिए, वाइट कलर के नोट्स पोटैटो की पूरी बॉडी पे ऑब्जर्व या अपीयर होना स्टार्ट हो जाते हैं. Those notes are nothing but the eyes of potato and ginger. Even in the case of ginger, this happens. Those are called as eye of potato or eye of a ginger. Eye of a ginger. As we know, the food which is prepared by the plant leaves is stored in the underground stem, that is potato and a ginger. These are the nutritious parts of the plant. And if we keep these for a long time as it is, the eyes start growing on the body of these fruits or the stems. These each eye can grow into a bud. When we plant them in the soil, suppose if these buds are sown separately into the soil, each bud can further grow into the new potato plant, and that new potato plant again can produce lot many other potatoes. So here you could see on page number 50, potato eye, turns into the bud. The bud is sown into the soil, which gives rise to the new plant, and finally a new potato plant get produced from its stem, underground stem. This is the another type of vegetative reproduction. First we have seen from the root, now it is underground stem. Also the ginger grow in the same way. Now onion, have you observed onion? Onion is having a swollen part at the downside, which is called as the bulb of onion or onion bulb. If we sow these onion bulb into the soil, if they are planted into the soil, these bulbs can grow new plants. नए प्लांट्स को ये ग्रो कर सकते हैं. This onion bulbs, if get the favorable conditions and sow into the soil, these can grow the new onion plants. This is also a kind of a stem. This is also the stem part.